Hey, great to be with you. Thanks for watching this. It's Brian Sanders with HSE. Super excited to walk you through a new ROI and crop yield calculator that we've developed in partnership with our friend Craig Harding. Craig, thanks for your help on this. Couple things that this calculator is used for. First, it's designed for you to have the math and to be able to put the numbers, really to work to see what your return on investment will be when you buy a spraying drone or multiples. It's going to take into consideration what you're growing, the number of acres, the number of applications, the frequency of those. Then we're also going to talk about tramline losses and yield increases. So we're going to start a couple things. The instructions are at the top left corner here. And I'm sure we're going to have some updates to this calculator over time. So I hope this video will stay true. It might look slightly different on your version, but just roll with it. Generally, we'll stick with the same principles. All right, instructions at the top left. Important thing to know is anything that's yellow is editable by you. So first, you're going to outline the type of crops that you have here. When you update them here, it will change elsewhere in the spreadsheet. So you just need to update them at the top. This will work with hectares or acres. Whatever you do, just type in the same version for all of the different spaces. So if you're going to use hectares, just use hectares. If you're going to use acres, just use acres. I'm going to type in those numbers here for that particular crop. Now, the calculator will help you determine if you're out to buy equipment in general, and you're determining between a traditional ground spray rig or a drone. You can type in that. It'll compare the ROI if you bought one or the other. If you already own that spray rig and you don't plan on selling it or anything like that, you can leave this field blank. Either way, at the bottom of the calculator, it's going to show you if you're buying new, both new things, what your ROI. If you're not, what it is if you're just adding the cost of the drone. I just threw in a general spray tractor price of 70K here, spraying rig 30K. And then here you're going to type in your acre, your per acre or per hectare cost for fuel, maintenance on that vehicle, and labor or the driver cost. We're going to start out with 15 bucks per acre here. Also, if you're currently hiring this out to a service provider, you could also just type in there what they charge you. That's fine too. Over here, you're going to type in the cost of the drone that you're looking at. I'm using 28,000. Of course, there's some that are less, some that are more. It's a good number to start with. Enter drone operating cost. Now, this number here includes labor for us, and this is based on a herbicide application. Obviously, higher application rates will drive that cost up. Frankly, we usually estimate for our services business about $2 an acre, so I'm doubling it for this example to err on the side of caution. If you've got some questions about coverage or how many acres an hour you can cover, or how herbicides are different than fungicides or different insecticides, we've got another video on YouTube as well that's linked below or above somewhere, and you can check that out too. All right, moving along. So down here, we've got the actual type of application. So in corn, we've got fungicide, insecticides, herbicides, and a foliar. Then you can type in, based on whatever your fungal or insect or mite pressure is, you can type in the number of applications per year. Now, if you've got more than one growing season, you can round that all out to 1 year. So if you're spraying fungicide twice per growing season, you've got 2 growing seasons, just change it to 4. This number over to your right here is going to be the outline of what you told us the cost was per acre with your traditional methods, how many applications, and the number of acres that you specified you had in corn. Then it's going to show you what the drone would cost to do the same thing. The total cost for that crop with all of these applications by traditional method, 15 bucks an acre, is 54,000. By drone, 14,400. In that 1 year, you'd save 39,600 for the application difference, not including the cost of the drone. That's a little lower. You're going to repeat the same thing for the other crops that you have. And if you're not growing corn, wheat, dryland maize, or soybeans, that's cool. Just change to whatever you're growing here and make it your own. You can also change these things as well. Okay, it's all editable. All right, now I'm going to scroll down to the results. This is the fun part, right? So down here, you're going to see the initial cost, including purchasing a tractor and the spray rig or the drone. These numbers, this is a cumulative from your 70 and your 30 that you typed in up here and your 28 that you typed in here. Okay, so your initial investment, 100K or 28K, the difference between those is shown there. And then your annual cost. This is your cost of all of those applications that you added up. Okay, so everything that you entered here on the traditional ground rig, we're looking at 95,400 for the year, 25,440 for the drone. The difference in savings of just operating cost here. The total cost, if you were actually buying the hardware, up here, add the 100 to the 95, and you get 195,440, and similarly here, and then the difference there. Now, below in this green box, you're going to see two columns. The first one, what are the savings if you're buying the spray rig? Mix that with the labor, or the savings if you're not buying the spray rig. You already own it, you've already paid for it, it's out of sight, out of mind, so to say. And then obviously you're going to see your year differences here. So in the first year, even if you went out and bought that drone, already owned the spray rig, the first year in this particular example, you'd still net, after you've paid off the drone, $41,960 in savings. That's a big difference, of course. That's these two differences here. The $69,960 minus the $28,000 is the $41,960. And then after that, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, all those numbers are the same, of course, but your cumulative additional savings is all charted on the far right here. Total savings after 5 years, including having already bought the drone, in this example, $321,800. All right, now we're going to go to the next page. I know I'm going quickly. If you have any questions, just go back and review that section, or of course you can get in touch with us or comment on the video. Now I'm going to go over to the increased yield calculator. This accounts for, oh, let me zoom in for you, make it easier to see. This accounts for tramline losses. We're also going to deal with adding on calculators in the future that will take into yield increases based on efficacious applications. So like John Deere put out a study that in corn, single fungicide treatment will increase yields to 3 to 9 bushels per acre with one fungicide application. A second fungicide application they found would increase you on corn by another 7.5 bushels per acre. We're going to add another calculator that'll factor in all that stuff for you too. So you can think about what are my cost savings in labor and operation and use, and then what are my tramline losses that now, since I'm flying a drone, I'm no longer going to run that spray rig over. How do I increase my yield by removing tramline losses? And then how do I further increase my yields by more efficacious and even more frequent, more available applications by drone, because I'm doing it myself or I'm hiring a service provider, etc. So tramline losses, increasing yield by removing tramline losses is here. We're going to take the same information again, all the yellow stuff you can edit. By the way, how I got to this, two ways. Down here at the bottom, you've got tabs, or there's a little quick link right here, okay? So you're going to type in your crops, number of acres, enter the yield estimates in tons per acre or hectare, whatever your format is, doesn't matter, and then the price per whatever that metric is, okay? And then what are your tramline losses? These also might not be accurate, by the way. I had a couple people playing around with this. Tramline, so just put this into whatever is accurate for you, okay? Tramline losses here, traditional system percentage. So what are you usually banking for right now that you'll lose based on running those tramline losses? Type in those numbers, are all editable here, and then that will automatically calculate out what's your estimated lost tons per acre. And then based on what you told us it's worth, that's what you'd have in a tramline loss. So in every year in this example here, that particular grower or producer would increase their profit, increase their yields by $17,398 a year. Over 5 years, that's almost $87,000. That's in addition to the ROI operating cost here. All right, again, if you've got questions or need help or anything like that, you can comment on the video below or get in touch with us, HSE-UAV.com. You can also click on that at the link here. And I hope this was helpful. Let us know what you think. Let us know if this had made any difference for you or how you were using this to help you in your decision of buying a drone or which drone you were choosing, any of that. And thanks for watching. We'll see you again.